Hello, I am the poet. Today I give you a story from the horror of stories. Criminal Stories short story of the Russian Ripper. Criminal stories are one of the most famous stories known for their exciting and very exciting events. When you hear the story, you feel like a private investigator. Criminal stories at the beginning and the end are stories of murder. Over the years, many mysteries, crimes, and assassinations have been discovered with their origins in a serial killer who commits many crimes, and our story today about a Russian thug called Mikhail Popkov, who, despite his features that don't show him as a criminal at all, killed 82 women in Russia. And today, through a terrible horror channel, we will learn about Mikhail Popkov's story. We hope you will enjoy hearing this story and hope you will be impressed. The story of the Russian Ripper. For 2 decades, Russian thug Mikhail Popkov continued to commit his heinous crimes, a series of assassinations classified as the most heinous in Russia's history, putting Mikhail Popkov on top of the world's most famous thugs. In 2017, Mikhail Popkov, aged 53, was formally charged with 60 offenses and sentenced to life imprisonment. Mikhail Popkov previously worked in the police and confronted him with these crimes for the purpose of cleaning up the city, the Siberian city of Angarsk, of unethical women, according to the Russian prosecution. The commencement of these crimes dates back to 1992 to 2010, and the victims' ages ranged from 17 to 38 years old, according to Russian police. During the investigation, Mikhail Popkov described how he had managed to separate his normal life from the other parallel world, which was riddled with murder and violence. He explained this during the investigation, which raised investigators' eyebrows. Thug Mikhail Popkov said during the investigation, "I had a double life. At first I was a regular person. I worked in the police service where I did my job best, even with positive reactions to what I did. In the second life, I had committed the murders, which I carefully hide from everyone, knowing that they were criminal offenses, for which the law was accountable." He also added, "I had a family, and my wife and daughter considered me to be a good husband and a kind father, which is consistent with the reality in my dealings with them. They no knowledge of what I had done and never doubted me, and Russian thug Mikhail Popkov described how he had chosen his victims. He had chosen the girl who hung out during the night with the men, who acted indifferently or who was not afraid to ride with him in the car and go with him. Mikhail Popkov was using the police car. He was taking the victim to a remote location in order to rape her and then kill her. And it was very far from the imagination of the police at the time that the perpetrator of these crimes was originally a cop. The former policeman used weapons at the police station that were confiscated from criminals for his crimes. And after he finished doing it, Mikhail Popkov was getting rid of the fingerprints and throwing them away. The Russian thug recounted that he had killed his daughter's teacher at school and headed for the woods to leave her side by side with another woman. But when Mikhail Popkov returned home, he found out that he had lost his police badge and that he would be exposed. He returned to the crime scene to find a girl who was breathing and had not yet died, killing her by a shovel. This story happened in 2000. The court acknowledged that Mikhail Popkov is a mentally sound person, but for his wife and daughter he started a new life in another city even though his daughter, called Katya, who works as a teacher, was tempestuous. How can this affectionate father be the killer Russia is talking about? But the fact is that Mikhail Popkov acknowledged that he committed these crimes.